everyone, so this video is for everyone or anyone who wants to retain, grow long hair and also healthier hair length, so that whenever a stylist, that's a hairstylist, is doing anything wrong on their hair, they can easily or gently just correct the hairstylist. So I would advise that you watch this video from the beginning to the end so you don't miss any single part. Everything is detailed in this video, the pros, the cons, every single thing. I'm very sure you will learn something from this video. All right, this my client have been carrying this hair for a very long time. Let's say about 3 months. Yeah, we made the hair about 3 months ago. So I'm just showing you guys the undergrowth of the hair and how much grown strands of hair she gained. So yeah, I'm just showing you guys and what the hair looks like after 3 months. So yeah, loosening the hair really, like, it's so tangled while loosening. So what we like to do in this case is just to loosen a particular cornrow and then comb it. This is just to make the detangling easier, much easier. So yeah, next is to relax her hair, and for this I'm just going to start by sectioning the hair into 3 different portions. But before sectioning the hair, I already did, like, I applied hair cream around the parameters of her hair, that's her edges. This is so that it can slow the process of the chemical around the parameters of her hair, because you know that the parameters, that's the edges, the hairs around the edges are fragile, so it's best to slow the chemical process around that part so that it doesn't easily damage the hairs there. All right, for this process we'll be using the olive hair relaxer, and this is the sachet one, not the cup one. So we used about 2 different sachets, that's 2 packs or 2 sachets of the olive oil relaxer. So yeah, we just turn everything into a bowl and then mix both the activator and the cream together, and then we'll start applying. Then we'll start applying the cream on her hair like so. Like for me, I like to start applying, or like to start the application from the back of her head, and we'll just apply it using my hands, and while applying I will avoid the tip of her hair. So I see so many people applying relaxer on both the tip and the root of their hair. So this tends to, like, break hairs, weaken the tip of the hair. The ends or the tip of the hair is already processed, so the relaxer permanently alters the structure of the hair. Once that shift has been made, it straightens the hair. It cannot recoil back. So reapplying the relaxer does not improve anything. It's just overloads the hair with chemical. And like I said before, always reapplying causes breakage. That's the terrible kind though. If you relax the previous relaxed hair, if you apply relaxer on the previous relaxed hair, it melts the hair away, the integrity of the strands. That's why many people end up with tinier, snapped ends. So that's where the hair starts to break and gives up. So the new growth is the only part that is still coily and stiff, and that's the only part that needs relaxer. So you are actually supposed to just apply the chemical on that part just to straighten it. The goal is to straighten the hair. So you are just to apply relaxer on the new growth to straighten it so that it can match up with the old texture, and not to weaken it while relaxing it. That's applying relaxer over and over again. Your scalp can only handle so much. Applying relaxer all over, like over and over again, puts unnecessary stress on the scalp and increase irritation, burning and sensitivity. And applying only the root of the hair keeps the hair stronger in the long run, and retouching it, like applying relaxer on only the root of the hair, actually helps maintain thickness, prevent over processed look, and also prevent breakage, prevent weakness of the tip. I also advise that if you want to keep a long, healthy strands of hair, I prefer or advise that you guys just relax your hair like 2 or 3 times in a year, meaning you can relax like every 6 months or every 4 months. This is because new growth does not come fast enough to justify frequent relaxing. So most people grow about ½ an inch per month. So in 4 to 6 months, you have enough new hair growth to work with. Anything earlier means you are relaxing hair that is barely grown, which will lead to overlap. and yeah, you wouldn't want that. It will also lead to breakage as well. So the less often you retouch or relax your hair, the healthier your hair stays. Relaxing your hair like 2 to 3 times in a year gives the hair a chance to stay strong and full. Right, now this is how we relax here in Nigeria. We usually use like comb to apply the products, but you can use the applicator to apply the product. To use my hand first to apply the chemical on the hair, that's the relaxer, and I'm going to be doing that in sections. So after applying using my hands, I will just go ahead to use a big comb, that's a wide tooth comb, to spread up the chemical action. So we'll kind of gently pass the comb on the hair. So we'll do this to the 3 different sections. After doing this back section, we'll do the left and do the right section depending on how you're seeing it. This is to help distribute the relaxer evenly through the new growth. This spread up the process because every strand gets properly coated without having to overwork it. And while doing this, you are still being careful of not dragging the relaxer onto the older hair, and that's why I am just passing the comb or combing the hair like this, not completely combing it to the tip. I'm just stopping halfway. All right, once I'm done combing with a wide comb, that's combing all the 3 sections with a white comb, we just go ahead to switch to a tail comb for a final detangling towards the end of the process, not the beginning of the process. And while using the tail comb to detangle in sections, I'm starting from the very back of the hair and just doing it in sections gradually. And as I'm combing in section, I'm adding more product to the hair while combing. That's after I finish combing a particular section, I will just add more product to the hair to ease or to help or fasten the whole process of the chemical. And remember that I'm only combing the root of the hair and avoiding the tip of the hair. So anything I do to the back or any section, I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other sections. That's anything I do on one section, I'll do it to the remaining sections. After applying the relaxer, she's just going to wait for a while, like about 15 minutes, and then I'll go ahead to wash the hair with shampoo, conditioner, and warm water. Alright, after washing the relaxer, the hair is still damp, lying straight, and not dripping damp, but towel damp. So that's the perfect time for me, or perfect moment for me, to catch those rough little ends. That's the tip of the hair that is weak, because they are not coiled and hidden, and this helps see the true length of the hair. Then we start to section the hair, and we'll start sectioning a chunk of it. That's a chunk of the hair from the back, that's the back to the front. We'll move it to the front and then use my clip to hold it down, and then we'll further section the hair in little portions and then trim. We'll start trimming. So this just help keep everything in control. So usually how to trim is just to take a section of the hair and then use fingers, move down to the tip of the hair. Then you feel where the hair starts to lose thickness. That's the weak part or weak ends of the hair. Then you trim that off. It's usually a tiny amount because the hair is just wet. Hope that makes sense. But for this client, she does not want me to trim much of the hair of her hair. So what we are going to be doing is, anytime she has any relax appointment, that's in the next 4 months or 6 months, I'm just going to take off little of the tip of the hair, that's the weak tip of the hair. So we continue that until she gets, that's every 6 months or every 4 months, until she gets that full thickness of the hair, that's a healthier strands of hair. And yeah, the process is not just about making the hair neat, it actually keeps the hair alive and also helps it to behave well. It prevents split ends, and if split ends stays too long, they keep splitting higher and higher. It also helps the hair look fuller and healthier. It reduces breakage, like I said before, but once the hair is trimmed, you can easily manipulate it, you can easily comb it without it tangling. Alright, once I'm done trimming, we just go ahead to dry the hair with my hand dryer and then apply hair cream on the hair. So the first drying, I'm going to be using a big comb, a wide comb, to dry with hand dryer, and once I notice that it's dry, I'm going to go ahead to apply hair cream and then use a smaller comb to further dry and straighten the hair. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're able to learn something from this video. We'll talk to you guys in the next video. Stay blessed. Give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, also leave a comment on how you do yours, the process you take, and yeah, we'll talk to you later. Bye.